What's going on YouTube? It's Phil here, back with another video. So I've been making theme-based videos for the last few weeks, and something happened yesterday, and so I'm going to make a video about it. And this is about intimidation on semen retention. So I had a really weird interaction last night I'm going to tell you about. But first, I'll just set it all up. So I went dancing yesterday. Haven't been out dancing in a while, so I went to meet some friends, and we had a couple drinks and tapas beforehand. Went to see a live salsa band, and I just had a couple dances with my friends. I wasn't really in the mood to dance that much. I caught up with one of my good friends, so that was cool to catch up with him. Went to have a dance. The band was okay. They played some nice stuff, but they were playing some stuff, some really long songs, fast songs that I didn't really want to dance to. And I just ended up standing around and got a little bit up in my head, and just ended up like they played this super long song, just totally killed my vibe, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. So earlier in the day, I'd bought a bottle of gin online. Just done like a click and collect thing, and I didn't have time to grab it on the way. So it's like, oh, I kind of left the dance a little bit early. I left at like 7 p.m. So it's pretty early. And then I looked at the clock and was like, oh, I've still got time. Like the shop isn't shut yet. It shuts at 8. I'll pop in on the way home and grab this bottle before I go. And so I get to the store about like 7:25, 7:30, and there's a sign on the door that says back in 5 minutes, they're on a break. So I'm like, cool, well, whatever. I'm not going to go home. I'm here now. I'll wait 5 minutes. They'll open up. I'll grab this thing. No worries. So anyway, wait 5 minutes. Nobody comes. So I'm like, yeah, well, I do want this bottle. I don't want to have to come back tomorrow. And there's a drive-through around the side of this bottle shop, so I have to walk around a bit. So I walk around the side of the building and see if there's anyone there. And there's 3 people there. So there's people there. I'm like, oh, hey, I just got this bottle to collect. Can you open it up? And I'll just get this bottle real quick. And then they start giving me major attitude. And it was weird because I wasn't rude. I was just like, yeah, hey, are you guys open? Just want this to collect this thing. But the attitude I got was just really over the top, like eyes rolling, muttering under the breath, like, who is this dude? Who does he think he is? And then I said something like, because the girl that I was talking to, I think, was on a break. But my impression is that they were actually, it was like half an hour before the store closes. So they're all just like down there probably having a chat and, chopping it up and whatever. And this customer walks in, they're like, oh, I've got to go serve this guy now. Like, oh, that was the attitude. It's like, oh, who's this dude? Like, now I've got to stop talking to my friends for this dude. It was really like that, like passive aggressive, eye rolly stuff. And then, but no, I'm like standing my ground. I just want to collect this bottle. So the girl, she's muttered something under her breath at this point. And then she goes, oh, well, this guy's back now, so I guess I can open up for you. And then I said something like, oh, well, that would be awesome if you could. And I don't know if it came across as sarcastic, but it wasn't meant to. And I wasn't like rude or anything. But then she like looks at me like, oh, can you believe this guy? And she looks at her friend, and her friend's like standing a bit of a ways away. Then her friend starts swearing at me and abusing me. And I'm just like, F this and F that. Like, and she's standing over 2 lanes of the drive-through. So she's 2 car lanes away from me yelling at me. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'm just like, yeah, cool story, bro. And I wasn't even talking to her, so I'm just like, and so that lady heads up around the back, so I meet her around the other shop front to go get the bottle. And then even in there, she's still giving me attitude, and I'm like, I haven't said anything. I'm polite. I'm calm. I'm like, and she's like, oh, you ordered this at 1:45 today. You should have come in then. I'm like, this is click and collect. You can literally come in any time you want. And I'm just like, I said to her, look, I don't understand. I'm just trying to collect a bottle. Like in my mind, I'm just like, this is the easiest thing. It should take 30 seconds, and this thing's taking like 15 minutes now. But she's giving me all this attitude, and I'm just like, really strange. And I'm like, look, I don't understand. I just wanted to collect the bottle. And then so I walk out. As I walk out, the door closes, but behind the glass, I hear her say something to the other lady who's popped out again. The previous one who was swearing at me has popped out again. And through the glass, like, calls me a bastard. And I hear this, and I think she said it deliberately. So I walk back up and I said, oh, hey, I'm not a bastard. I was actually polite to you. I just wanted to collect the bottle I paid for. And then the other one, the sweary one, pipes up again. She's like, this is harassment, and like getting all like, weird about it. And I said, no, this is not harassment. You were screaming at me and swearing at me from across the drive-through. I was actually polite to you, dude. It's like, just lose the attitude. And I walked off. And that was it. Like, I just walked off. I kept my cool. I didn't yell. I wasn't like aggressive in their face. But at the same time, I'm being given really bad customer service. And it's just like, I'm gonna stand my ground and be like, no, I'm gonna get the item that I paid for. I'm not gonna come back tomorrow. And, I've been standing in the cold waiting for 5 minutes, and I'm prepared to wait 5 minutes, whatever. It's not a big deal, but like they're giving me all this attitude, and then the swearing at me starts, and the yelling at me, and then using words like harassment, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. So I had to say something like, no, that's not it, bro. Like, no, I'm not having that. But I still wasn't like, I didn't yell or get confrontational or abusive or anything. I didn't stoop to their level. I got home and I was like, no, this is not right. So I rang my brother and I told him about it, because this is just like really over the top bad customer service. And my brother knows I'm on semen retention. He goes, bro, it was probably the semen retention. Like they're just reacting to you. And I was like, of course it is. Of course that's what it was, because I didn't do anything. I wasn't rude. I wasn't aggressive. I wasn't in their face. I didn't swear. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't use like a belligerent tone. I didn't do anything like that. They were just reacting to my energy. And my energy was like probably no nonsense, but also, and here's the thing I want to talk about. You've got to understand, bros, with semen retention, people are going to react to you, and they may perceive your energy as attractive, or some people may be threatened, like irrationally threatened. And that's what was happening. These people, and I wasn't even thinking, because I've just been on it for a little while. I'm 110 plus days at the moment. So I'm not sort of going around with semen retention on my mind. I'm just cruising through my life. And it wasn't until my brother pointed it out and said, yeah, they're probably reacting to that more than anything. I'm like, well, that's all it could have been, because I was just rolling up there. I wasn't being a dick. So what you've got to understand, bros, is people are going to react to that energy. And we're pretty familiar with the female attraction stuff. Like that gets talked about a lot. Well, there's a flip side to that. There's the intimidation, and it doesn't always work in your favor. And this is one of those situations where, and maybe, I don't know, I'm big on taking self-accountability. Like, they were out of line. They shouldn't have sworn at me and yelled at me and abused me and called me names. Like, that was just totally ridiculous customer service. It shouldn't have happened. But I maybe could have been a bit more aware of my own energy, and that people, now that I'm on this journey, people might respond to me differently. And then I may have gone in with I wasn't rude or like, but I think I was just like businesslike. I was just like, I'm just here to do this. Let's just get it done. That was like my approach. And maybe I could have softened that a bit. And I'm not excusing like that abusive behavior by those staff. And I will be following that up with the company and saying, hey, especially because she said, this is harassment. Like, you can't make up false allegations against people like that. It's like women against men. It's becoming more common. Like, and I wasn't harassing anybody. I was literally just there in the shop to collect something that I paid for. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm not being a nuisance. I'm just trying to collect the merchandise that I paid my hard-earned money for. She was actually the one who was abusive to me. It was the other way around. But they start pulling these big words out because they feel a certain way. It's not about what happened. It's not about what I did. It's about how they felt. And she felt a certain way because of my energy. And she felt that way because of my energy, because of semen retention. So I'm not excusing her behavior. But dudes, you do have to be a bit more conscious about how people may perceive you. And I'm not excusing poor behavior. If people react to you in a negative way, that's their thing, right? That's on them. But you do have to be aware of it in situations when you see it starting to happen, because we deal with people every day, and you've got to extend kindness to people where you can. I could have just been a bit more aware of what was probably happening, but it didn't occur to me at the time. And now that this has happened, I'll look out for a little bit more. But I'll just be a bit more conscious of, is this person just responding to my strong based grounded energy, my no nonsense sort of, I'm here in front of you, I'm not going away, I'm a man, I'm here. And some people are not going to like that. They're going to be threatened by that. and intimidated by that. They're going to feel that presence, and it's going to be strong. Not because of your tone or your actions or like using posturing body language. I wasn't doing that. I was dressed nice. I wasn't belligerent. I wasn't like this drunk dude who rolled up at the end of the day trying to get a last minute bottle to smash at home. I'd literally been out dancing. I'm dressed in $200 jeans and like a nice jacket. I haven't been drinking because I've been dancing. I just had a couple before the dance, and I'm well and truly sober because I've been driving. So I'm sober as a judge. I'm cool, calm, collected. There's nothing in my appearance or my demeanor that is threatening. I'm not a big guy anyway, man. I'm like 85 kilos, whatever that is in pounds, and I'm like 180 centimeters. I'm not even 6 foot. I'm not a big dude. I'm not intimidating. But it's not about that. It's about the energy. That's what they're responding to. And that's what occurred to me. But it didn't occur to me until my brother pointed it out, because I was just still looking. I was just confused. I was honestly like, this is such a surreal overreaction. Like, why is this going this way right now? I don't get it. Like, I'm not behaving anyway. Why are you treating me as if I'm a certain thing? And then I realized it had nothing to do with what I was doing and everything to do with what they felt, the energy they felt. And that is one of the, I guess, not pitfalls, but things to be aware of in semen retention. Your energy is going to come across to some people as very strong, and they're going to notice it. And sometimes they're going to notice it in a positive way, and sometimes they're going to notice it in a negative way. And that's totally on them, the way they interpret your energy, as long as you're not being a dick. And I wasn't. But be aware that they're going to notice you, and that energy can go one way or another, depending on the day they've had, the week, the upbringing they've had, all the experiences of their lives. Your energy is going to come across in a certain way. So you can intimidate people. And I think that's a classic case. And I just have to be aware of that more now that I'm back on the semen retention, and it's been a good 3 months. So that's all I wanted to say about this today. Semen retention, people notice, and you can be intimidating, and you can be intimidating to men too, but to women. And in this case, these women were intimidated, and that's what it was. Like, in hindsight, that had to be what it was, because it was not my behavior. I'm sure it was not my behavior, because I'm pretty generally respectful of people. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to make this video too long, but that's the theme of today's video. There's definitely an intimidation factor, so be aware of it, and you might have to calibrate a little bit. Just when you see people responding a certain way, just be like, hey man, it's all good. That's sort of just try and disarm them a little bit. And I'll have to, especially going forward, I'll probably just slightly change my approach a little bit when I see people. That's if I do want to engage with them. If I want a favorable outcome, I'll just have to calibrate my approach a little. But you shouldn't have to put up with, anyone, abusing you or assaulting you, God forbid. Didn't go that far. But I've heard of guys actually getting in physical altercations with other dudes on semen retention. And another story for another day. Similar thing happened to me, but that's for another day. I'm going to leave it there today. So if you're tuning in, super grateful that you're tuning in. If you're watching now, smash the like button, drop a comment below. More than anything, I'd just love if you subbed or dropped a comment, because I just want to hear how you other guys going on your journey. So it doesn't matter if you're day 1, day 10, day 100, day 1,000. If you're struggling, if you're having mad wins, let us know in the comments below. Drop a comment below. We're all in this together, and I'll see you on the next video.